And hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? You're listening to today's episode of Car Musings, and I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thanks for tuning in today. Thank you for being here. Love you for it. It's nice to sort of see you, but either way, I know you're there. Anyways, how's your integrity? How you doing? What's new and shaking? All that fun stuff. A little further into the new year at this point, based on, my calculations, and I hope everybody's doing well. Today, I want to talk about a few things, but before I forget, check out themattmorgan.com for articles, information resources, podcasts, all that fun stuff. We keep tweaking it on occasion, when we have the time. Today, I want to talk about wages and salaries and all that stuff and the cost of living. That's our topic for today. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Do you know? This is interesting enough. Do you know how much minimum wage comes up to a year? Interestingly enough, in Canada, full-time minimum wage, what it comes up to per year. And until recently, I haven't had to figure this out, but I recently figured this out. It's roughly about, I don't know, let's say 36,000 a year, Canadian. That is what minimum wage comes up to per year. Okay, well, 36,000. That's at 1760 or 1780 roughly per hour, which is the minimum wage. And let me tell you, my folks, holy puckaduck, that is not a lot of money. That is not a lot of money. And I can't believe that is still within poverty line, like, area. I don't see how that's realistic. $36,000 a year, full time, 80 hours a paycheck. That's how much that is. How the hell? And oh, by the way, that's before taxes. How the hell do they expect people to live off that when a one-bedroom apartment these days costs you $2,000 a month? Like, what the fuck? Think about it. If you're paying $2,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, you can just kiss 24,000 of that 36,000 away. That would break it down even further. That means you have $1,000 to your name per month after rent. Forget about a car, especially if you have to make payments on it. Like, wow. Like, okay, so maybe a third of that, 300 for food if you're smart about it, but you're not getting good food. You're getting shit food. $300 for incidentals and $300 for like your transportation and whatnot, and the actual expenses of things like cell phones and stuff. Holy fucking duck! And the reason I know this is because the struggle's still real at the time that I'm still in the mix here, recording this, of course, the end of November. But I started crunching some numbers because I am learning about companies and their ridiculously greedy bullshit of what they're paying their staff or the expectations they have on their staff. And I don't know how managers are not blinking an eye to this, because it's like, hang on, you're going to tell me you're going to sit there with a straight face and say that that's okay, that you're okay with this. So it's interesting. There's this one company, in my hometown area of Ottawa, which I really love their business model, and their services are great, and you can't miss them. Their complexes look like Borg cubes. If you're a Trekkie, you understand what a Borg cube looks like. It is basically a big cube. So they have revolutionary service. Like their products and everything else and their storage that they're known for are basically great. But when you look back behind the curtain, you start saying to yourself, oh, okay, well, that's a different story. You're basically making money hand over fist, basically explaining about how you're, incredibly busy and full and everything is to max capacity. So obviously you're making money, but you're paying your staff not a living wage? Okay, I kind of see you in a different light because you're not giving your staff a living wage. How the hell are they supposed to survive? And on top of that, I might add, and on top of that, they are expecting a shit ton of work. 13-hour days back to back. 13-hour days. Like, I won't even get into the fine details, but that's absolutely ludicrous. Now, don't get me wrong, the staff is fine. They're humble. They're great. Manager's great. I'm not pointing at the ones that are actually doing the work. I'm pointing at the friggin' decision makers up above. How do you fucking sleep at night? Oh, well, we're employing people. Yeah, you're employing people and they're starving and they have to go get a second job on the days off you get with your ridiculous schedule because during the regular week of 13-hour days, they don't even have time to fart. All right? So they're so exhausted during that first stretch. The second stretch, oh, well, they only have to work 2 days. That means they have 5 days off. Yeah, but then they're running out and they're actually working a second job in order to be able to pay the rent. Like, I applaud that you're employing people, but holy shit. Like, you're making money. You can afford to pay your staff more. Like, part of me is like, as a consumer, I don't know if I want to do business with a company that's done that unethical. They don't even give you benefits. Oh, well, they do. They pay for half of them. You got to pay for the other half. So on the little amount of money I make already, I have to still pay stuff out of my pocket. You're not going to give me anything. Oh, okay. Thanks. Like, I don't know how people sleep at night. You're making hand over fist money, and yet you can't even afford to pay benefits. Well, having as worked in an advisor, I know how much benefits cost. At the entry level, you're looking at roughly $70 to $80 a month for your basics, a little more for enhanced features. But in a business sense, that's a write-off. But yet you're still putting the actual cost to your employees that you're paying shit to? How do you sleep at night? You're making millions upon millions of millions of millions of dollars. You have a business that is 100% successful. There's no competition. You own a monopoly on a revolutionary idea, and you're not even paying your staff a living wage. What the fuck? I'm not going to mention companies. They might still end up having to work for them. But I'm just saying, wow. Wow. Now, let's move on to another area because I started looking at other industries, interestingly enough. I started looking at the driving industry, right? Because I'm thinking about industries that are AI proof, right? I'm thinking about industries that are basically, you don't have to worry about AI because there's no way they're doing those jobs anytime soon. Looking at deliveries. So I talked to this one company, and here's their expectations. Okay? Check this out. So the hourly wage is a little better. Company van, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Hourly wage, $20 an hour. Okay, that's, $3 above the minimum. So, that's a little better. We can do that. But here is the thing. The shifts are 10 hours. Okay. Shifts are 10 hours. Company van. Fair enough. Now, here's the kicker. You ready for this? Here's the kicker. Your delivery loads are basically 250 to 350 packages. Okay? You heard me correctly. 250 to 350 packages. Needless to say, not a lot of packages are going to the same address. You have 10 hours that you have to do 350 packages. Do the math with me, will you? So, if you have to deliver 350 packages in a 10-hour shift, that's 35 packages per hour. So let's just bring it down to 30 packages and 60 minutes in an hour. That means every 2 minutes you have to deliver a package. Roughly. Every 2 minutes you have to deliver a package. Now, unless you're running down a hallway in an apartment complex and every second door was potentially, or every floor had, say, several packages on it, or something along those lines, then it's feasible for you to be able to do a package every 2 minutes. Now, I understand now why when my Amazon delivery driver drops off their packages, they literally run across my lawn, throw it on the doorway, snap a picture, and keep running. I understand that now because holy shit, if you have to do a package every 2 minutes. So anyways, I reached out to the company after I went through a charming interview with these people, giving me these details. And I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Because I'm curious about this. So, what happens if I don't deliver all the packages? Well, rumor has it you have to pretty much complete the packages. So, 10 hours, $20 an hour, 350 packages. Beyond the 10 hours, that's on your dime. You're not getting paid extra for it. You pretty much are only getting paid the 10-hour shift. Okay. Let's do some more math here. 10 hours, $20 an hour. That's about $200. Somebody's getting fucked. Because somebody's making money here. And Amazon delivery, I'm pretty sure, pays a lot more than $2 per package. So, company's making $500, you're making $200. Oh, but there's wear and tear in the van. That's a business write-off. Oh, gas. Okay, business write-off. You're not giving me any reason to feel bad about the fact that you're still making, even after expenses at best, you're still making $300. Your workers are only making $200. Now you're making $300 up and above your costs. Well, that's just business. Well, don't be surprised if you have high turnover. Just saying. Don't be surprised if you have a high turnover. Because with those numbers and what you're paying and the expectations, unreal. Just fucking unreal. Like, seriously. Like, when the economy gets bad, companies get greedy. And it's not like they're hurting. It's not like they're losing money. They're just learning to exploit people a little more because they can. Because there are people that are desperate. Hey, I might have been unemployed for 2 years, and I am desperate, and I am hurting, and I am borrowing, and I am digging a hole again that I thought I'd never have to deal financially with again. And it sucks. But if you are killing yourself for a job that is barely getting by, let's go back to the original job. If you do the math on that, at 36,000 a year, divide everything else up, you're only walking away with $100 a day in a 5-day stretch. So that means you're lucky if your paycheck is $1,000 for 2 weeks. Yep, $1,000 per 2 weeks. That's $2,000 a month. How the fuck do people live off that? You can't. I'm not kidding you. That's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Anyways, I think it contradicts earlier math. Bottom line, it's just crazy. So either the demand is really up there, and they basically try to fool you thinking that the hourly wage is worth it, or on the opposite side. Let me tell you, folks, in Canada, with the rate of things, you're a little better and more chances of being able to actually have a normal, somewhat life around the 50,000 mark. About 50,000 a year, bare minimum. Bare minimum. Ideally 60. No wonder people are pissed off. Seriously, no wonder people are pissed off. Because that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, holy fuck. And it's not getting any easier because of AI. It's not getting any easier because of the limited jobs. It's not getting any easier because of fucking immigration. Thank you very much, fucking Liberal fucking Party of Canada. Like, you're not making it easier when you're bringing in a whole bunch of more people. Means less jobs for Canadians that are actually here, especially with your whole hiring bonus that you give companies. If they hire somebody of a visual minority, well, I'm not going to turn this into a racial slant or, some sort of racial case situation, but you're giving incentives for companies to hire people of visual minorities. The companies are looking of the incentives of hiring those visual minorities because of the bonuses or tax breaks that you give those companies, meaning that everybody that is white as snow in Canada that was born here is fucked because there's no incentive or bonuses for the companies to hire these people. And then you're offering shit wages because you can. Like, what the fuck? So let me tell you, my friends, if you have a job that's paying you 50,000 or more per year, consider yourself fucking lucky. Or better yet, if you have a job at all in today's economy, consider yourself fucking lucky. I'm still pissed off at my former manager. He's still an asshole. He was an asshole when I was working there even, but regardless on that one. I know it's a political sense for why 90% of the people that were shown the door were whites. That's fine. People are like, I'm getting kicked back from people saying, oh, that's just racist, that's just wrong. Oh, there's a psychological reason for why you're thinking that. Fuck off. The numbers speak for themselves. And if you see everybody that was shown the door, let me tell you, it's uncanny. You cannot tell me that there was some influence on an HR department ran by an Indian behind that, when it's like, if it was a revolving door, Caucasians are shown the door, and all the Indians are coming in the door. Huh! Oh, that's just coincidence. Bullshit, it's coincidence. But well, that's not going to turn this into a racial thing. Regardless, companies do better. People are starving. Listen how the domino effect works. I've talked about in previous episodes. If people don't make enough money to be able to spend money, other companies are going to go out of business. If you pay enough money for people to be able to live, they're going to spend money, which keeps the actual economy going. You see how this works? So company A might be making money because they're fucking their staff with really low wages, but it's a bleed effect. It's going to affect every other company because there's not going to be any spending going on. Spending going on, the 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 whole motion of things stops. Okay? Let me tell you how else the domino effect goes. If you don't give somebody a way to support themselves and their family, they're going to turn to other means of desperation. When means of desperation come around, guess what? People drop their ethical coding and their morals, and they start doing stuff against what their better side says because they're of desperation. A person that has nothing to lose is not somebody you want to fuck with, because they will go to great lengths in order to do what they need to do to survive. Think about that for 1 second. And when the have-nots look at the have-dos and do-haves, there's going to be a warring factor. People are going to go after those that have, especially if they don't deserve it. If my former manager wasn't such an asshole and a dickhead and would have did his job as a manager and actually informed what needed to be done, and even now they should inform what needs to be done, but they don't care. They get their bonuses as long as they play the executives game. They get to keep their jobs. They get to be the bad face, but they get paid well for it. They don't fucking care. So at the end of it all, if you have a job, appreciate it, but have a backup plan. If you're established and you're making your bills barely, get a second income, passive. Do something, whatever you can, but make a backup. You need backups for your backups these days, because I'm telling you, those numbers are valid of what people are being paid, and it's not right. It's not right. But the government's too busy fucking doing whatever the hell they're not doing, that, they wonder why these numbers are the way they are. They wonder why the crime rate's going up, and then they take away guns. That's a different topic altogether. It's just crap. And it's not because I'm down and out. My morale's pretty good. If anything, I'm more inspired to succeed. I'm more inspired to get out of this rut. I'm more inspired to find a solution. So it's not like I'm bitter. I'm just pissed off at the fact that, the governing body's not doing what they should. Businesses are being allowed to do the shit that they do. Like, I'm just pissed off at that. The next company that actually hires me and gives me a fair wage, I will bend over backwards for them. I will bend over backwards for them. Especially if they treat me with a level of respect and fairness, and I actually have a good manager. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because if anything, this situation has taught me, if, the jerks I've worked with in the past, but also, what to appreciate a little more. I didn't appreciate my last job. I had no need to, because I had a manager that didn't do their job. And I had no assistants. I had nothing. So, regardless, let's not drum that up again. But moving forward, next company, whoa, yeah, they're gonna get where I can give them, to maintain that, because the fucking world's stupid now. It really is. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up before I get on a tangent. I am so tired. Wife kept hitting me in the head because my CPAP machine wasn't working. But hey, keep up the good fights. It's got to get better. It can't get worse for some of us out there. If you have an income, value it, and make a backup plan. And always keep an eye on other opportunities. Because unfortunately, as much as you're loyal to that company you work for, chances are they're not loyal to you. Oh yeah, and I want to call out at least one company, Thales, whatever, that the defense company, aerospace, and everything else. You guys are a bunch of fucking pricks. I am just going to tell you, you guys are a bunch of fucking pricks. Your hiring staff should be fired. Your business conduct should be changed. Don't ghost people when they're looking for work because what? They're beneath you? Fuck you. Fuck you, Thales, or however you call it. You have some French tone. It's not really surprising that you're probably a French-based company because French are arrogant pricks at times. So, you know what, though? The big money might like you. I don't like you because I don't like the way that you treat people. I don't like the fact that you don't treat people with respect and dignity when they're looking for work and your people ghost them because they're not worth their time. Everybody's life is valuable. Everybody should be given at least a level of respect, especially those that are hurting looking for work. Don't do that to people. Don't fucking do that to people. How long does it take to send a quick little email saying, sorry, we went a different direction? But ghosting people, do better. All right? The THALES or something like that. You'll know them. Their logo's blue and everything else, but you've probably seen them for aerospace or defense contracts and stuff like that. Bunch of fucking pricks. Train your people better and get them on board to be a little more respectful for those people looking for work. Okay? Don't ghost them. Help people get better. If you don't want to hire them, then fine. Give them some direction. Because that might just be a great candidate that you're passing up long term. Anyways, do better, companies. Pay better. Have realistic expectations for your employees. Let me tell you, you show somebody some level of respect, they'll give you their loyalty. But if you don't respect them out of the gates, like, why would they go the distance for you? Don't be greedy. Pay them a livable wage. Don't give unrealistic expectations on their work requirements. Just because 10 million other people are backed up behind them looking for that work, you're exploiting. Don't exploit. That's a really shitty way to run business. In the long run, your name is going to be tarnished because people are not going to forget. Just saying. Keep that in mind. Anyways, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. You listen to another episode of Car Musings. Thanks for tuning in. Check out themadmorgan.com. And as hard as it gets, keep your integrity in check. And keep on the right side of the law. Because you don't want to become uncivilized and add to the uncivilized world as it is. So, fly straight. Do what you can. It's going to get better. Anyways, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Take care. See you next episode.